Good morning, nieces and nephews. All right, so here we go. This is the most important cut of the season. We're about to go through and we're about to scalp it all down to the ground in 3. All right, and we're back. So we scalped this bad boy down as far as I was comfortable with going today. There's a couple reasons why we scalp. All right, so for the first reason is to take off that dead layer of grass. The stuff that's usually green during the season, the plant pulls all the moisture and stops producing chlorophyll and prepares itself to go to sleep over the wintertime because it doesn't want to waste time trying to do photosynthesis when it just can't, because there's not enough sunlight during the day and enough heat in order to allow this to go. So what we do in the springtime, as our temperatures in the soil starting to get above 55 degrees for a consecutive 3 days, that's when you want to go ahead and start your lawn maintenance program. So what I like to do is I like to first go through, and for the first 2 weeks I like to do a really good scalp. All right, so if you look at this one, it's kind of messy. It's not the best. I didn't bag up anything. I just chopped it all up, put it back in the lawn. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to clean up all this mess, and then after the mess gets cleaned up, I'm going to water this in a little bit. It does two things. One, it starts the decaying process. Those microbes in the soil are awake, active, and alive after about 60 to 70 degrees, which we're going to hit in the next 2 weeks. And they're going to wake up and they're going to need something to eat. They're going to start eating all this dead matter that's here in the grass. Now, all of it's not going to get eaten up by your microbes in the soil. A lot of this is going to wash away when it starts raining. What's highly recommended, if you can do it, is to go ahead and bag all this stuff up and dump it in the proper places. I got a little bit of wood line back here I can dump some of this stuff in, or I could take it to the landfill. Now, once you've got everything good, saturated, and it's good to go, the next week what I'll do is I'll go and I'll put down a protector. All right, there's a couple different formulas that you can put down. A lot of different companies make something that'll protect your lawn from the weeds, and that's going to be your biggest enemy throughout your season. All right, so we're gonna cover that a little bit later on in the season, exactly what chemicals you're gonna look for, what percentages you want to look for in those chemicals, and how all of that goes. Now, from the time that we start with our first scalp, everything is a time process. All right, so within the next 5 days, I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna cut this again. It's gonna stimulate the growth in the upper layer, and it's gonna expose my earth to more sunlight. Exposing it to more sunlight is then gonna thus heat up my soil a little bit faster, and I'm gonna green up a lot faster than my neighbors will. This isn't a competition, but it is. So once we get a good green up going, I'm gonna determine my height of cut, and I'm gonna cut about a ½ inch below that. I'm gonna raise my mower up, and then for the rest of the season I'm gonna maintain that. So a lot of things that you need to look out for while you're here is I got a lot of low spots around here. I also have a lot of spots that stay moist. So when you're applying anything, if you're playing a granular or a liquid, you're gonna look out for that. Like right here, I don't know if you can hear that. Nice and crunchy, but it's also really soft. So I've got to be careful over here when I'm mowing. I don't want to mow past on the same place numerous times. And but the biggest thing out here is to have fun. If you don't enjoy your mow, you don't enjoy cutting your grass, you don't enjoy making your lawn look as amazing and as healthy as it can be, this is not going to be fun. It's going to be a chore. I thoroughly enjoy coming out here week after week, cutting my grass, giving it some love, and watching it flourish. All right, so the lighting's not so good in here, but we're gonna make it work. All right, so the first thing that I like to do at the beginning of the season also is to go ahead and check my sprinkler system and make sure everything is good to go. All right, so with this Rainbird ESP-Me, it's what came with my house. We're gonna turn down to test all stations. All right, we're gonna let it go for 2 minutes. On each station. All right, press and hold there to start testing it. All right, so what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna come out here, I'm gonna look at all my stations and just make sure that they're all broadcasting the way that they should. All right, so this head here I want to make sure that it is parallel. I got a little wind today, so it's not fun. It's going to be parallel to the sidewalk here, and then it's going to push its cast out that way. We've got another zone that's right there in the center that just touches everything, just like a toddler. And the other one on the opposite side is doing the same thing. So what this is going to do is this is going to prevent me from having dry spots later on in the season when Mother Nature is not providing the moisture for everything. All right, I know some of you more experienced lawn junkies are scoffing right now looking at my my beds, but y'all will be okay. We're going to take care of that throughout the season. All right, and just making sure that all my patterns for everything is broadcast just well. All right, in this zone, this is one of the things we're looking for right here. So this head's got a little bit of dirt, debris, muck on top of it. We're just gonna clear those off. And this is one of those days where you don't want to worry about getting wet, because it's gonna happen. So I definitely don't bring my kids out here with me while we're doing this, because them little jokers have no problem with getting wet whatsoever. Oh, did I get her? My wife was back here rinsing off the back porch, so I think I got her with the sprinklers when they turned on. Again, don't judge me for this back here. I'm raising kids, I'm not growing grass. Grass growing is my hobby, kids are my passion. So apparently I did get my wife in the face with the sprinklers. I really didn't mean to do it. It was totally purely an accident. But all right, so this is the wettest side of my house. As you can see, it needs to be pressure washed. I don't know if you guys know how to do any of that. I will be learning this season, so this is gonna be fun. All right, so one of the things we're gonna look at here, this side is super duper weird with the way that the contractors put the sprinklers in. So everything gets wet over here, but it sprays into the bushes. So if I got any irrigation techs or any like landscaping people here, your advice would be nicely taken. And all we're doing here is we're just testing everything, making sure that the spread pattern for all of the water that's being thrown out of my irrigation system is hitting all the spots that it's supposed to. All right, and that's going to be extremely important when we get into July, late July, August, and September around here, because in Georgia it gets hot and it don't like the rain around those times. All right, and this is my last zone. This one is the one that runs the craziest. I end up watering a little bit of the Georgia wilderness throughout the season, but that's okay. I like this view from right here because it looks like a golf course. And just wait till later on in the season. It's really gonna look really good back here. This is probably like one of my most favorite parts of my lawn. We spend a lot of time back here, just running around with the kids. As you can see, like even right now, we got a little barbecue going on there right now. I love it back here. So one of your reasons for caring for your lawn is for you to have some place to really enjoy with your family. That's just in my humble opinion. You can do whatever you like in your area. I'm not a golfer. Some of my friends that do golf, they turn their backyards into putting courses. And we'll check out one or two of them maybe later on in the season. And right here we're just observing the spread pattern to see how this is going. All right, that's the end of that 2-minute cycle. All right, another one of the things I check for once I'm done with all the zones is stuff like this. So this is one of my heads that gets stuck up. Just give it a tap, pops itself back down. This is another thing you want to look for once you're about to cut. Every time you come out to cut your grass, just to make sure you don't cut one of those off, because from what I understand, those jokers are not really cheap to replace, and I just don't want to dig it up and replace it. Here's another one that's popped out. Just tap it, it goes back in. thank you all again for visiting the channel. I'd like for you to please go down there and hit that like button, subscribe, and if you're in the comments, be respectful, because I'm not gonna come to your channel and act a donkey. Later.